Hello guys, and welcome to today's video where I'll be breaking down the best way to land in the new Fortnite update. So for you guys, if you missed it, if you haven't been keeping up with what's going on, Greasy Grove is back again in the game along with Moisty, and particularly on the Moisty part, it's like Moisty Meyer, but then slash like the prison is back too. And the prison I think will really be very interesting for you guys, and they come with their own unique challenges. And so if you guys are looking for a new landing spot in arena mode, I want to break it down for you and show you how you guys can use these points or use these spots. I really want to break it down for you guys on how you can use these spots to gain those hype points and go up the next division in arena mode. So let's get into it. All right, as you guys can see, we're looking down at Greasy right now. I'm setting up on the island. Kevin has rotated, and I'm going to show you guys where I like to go when I land here. So as we drop down, we're going to approach it. There's a few different things I want to kind of break down for you. Obviously, we've got tacos right now. You know what? I'm not even going to go in right now because I'm going to turn into taco. You know taco mode is going when it's blinking. Okay, as you guys can see, there is just the one chest spawn up here, and then there's actually no other chest spawns throughout the entire house. And I really wanted to take a quick moment and to show you guys what it's like here, because the houses have actually kind of moved. Like, there was no house here in the previous version. And here comes taco time. So this actually brings up a good point. Taco time lasts exactly 12 seconds, and then in between each one is actually 45 seconds. So, and as taco time is going, you gain health back, but you're literally like a boogie bomb. It's the equivalent of a boogie bomb. And the one thing I want to talk about is you should be grabbing these tacos on the ground after the fact, because you get shield back. You saw I just gained 20 shield, and I'm moving fast as if I have a pepper. And so anyway, kind of an interesting addition to the game. Actually, it's going to be adding me 10 shield there. So 10 shield per taco, and it's going to keep that speed moving. Very, very interesting update to the game. So if you go down to the basement of the restaurant, you see the one chest spawn in the corner. And those of you that had landed in Greasy before, I'm actually now on the upper level on kind of like the outside corner of the restaurant here. So you saw the red house, we're here, chest spawn here. And then the other, literally only two chest spawns in this whole thing. So there's one there, and then one in the basement. We're on to our next house. Okay, you can see we're in the roof of the house next to the restaurant now. There is one here. I'm moving super fast because I've got the pepper and it's taco time. So this just looks absolutely ridiculous, right? All right, after we've looted the roof, we go down. There's one in the side garage. And then the doghouse out back. So there's actually 3 chest spawns in this house. I would prioritize landing in this one because you're simply in the back corner. You're then looking at the rest of Greasy. There's nothing really for any reason that anyone would land behind you. All right. So the other chest spawn I want to show you here, guys, is this one that has been stuck in the wall for so long. And we finally get it. Not to be deterred by the tacos dancing. But we get this one that's been hiding from us for so long, as it's been in the ice. And then you have a double chest spawn back here in the corner still. So this is just like when you guys were able to get down here for the ice, because this would have been our ground level coming out of here. So the only other like really interesting point of interest over here is the chest spawn in this corner. I mean, you can see the assorted floor loot as you go around here, but there's not a ton of reason to go out here other than the chest spawn and then this vending machine spawn. Onto this red corner house. It's kind of an interesting one, a little bit different of a layout, but still really all about the same at the end of the day. And really the only chest spawn in this whole red house is this top one of the roof. There's nothing else that is going to spawn in the entire house. And then moving on to the last house here, we've got one roof spawn here. Again, kind of show you how we came from red over to here, and now we are in this last corner house. We have another chest spawn here. Is all just the 2 chest spawns there. Now, the last spot that I didn't hit here is this little house, which is kind of used as more of like a rotational item than a really like big way to move throughout the game. So up here, there is just the one chest spawn in the roof of this building. All right, so after we've rotated out of Taco Time, Greasy Grove, you can kind of see, again, the effect is starting right now. Up here at the tomb head, we're going to farm out the remaining brick, look for any rifts that could be out here, and then we're really more like kind of even centrally located in terms of where the map is. And so I hope that gives you an idea of how to loot this place. You should for sure have 500 of every material, especially if you're able to loot the entire place. My gut tells me you won't be able to loot this whole building or this whole area uncontested. There will be other people here dropping here just for simply the novelty of coming back to Greasy, despite the dancing tacos. And so I hope that kind of gives you some tips and tricks and ideas on how you loot this area. On to Moisty. Okay, so now we are back at Moisty. Now, I think this is going to be super awesome. I'm really excited to show you guys this because I think this could have immense potential, particularly in solos and even trios. If you guys kind of did a split drop around the jail, or, you know, someone went the actual town and regularly part of Paradise, where that used to be, you guys will see here. Let's get it. Okay. So as you guys can see, I want to start from really just a high ground point of view, the different parts of where I would particularly want to land. So my goal every single time I drop here is going to be to hit this building. And I'll explain why once we get down to the looting pattern. But I can kind of help you then guys prioritize where do I want to hit particular. I'm going to want to hit this door if I can on my way in. And then there's a chest spawn, vending machine. There's like 3 chest spawns in a vending machine. Potentially, everything is random here that you guys could loot first. But I'm gonna start in the left, work around my way throughout the whole prison, and show you guys how you can loot this efficiently and effectively. Okay, so I'm in the actual prison itself. You see the chest spawn up here on this tower. So you'll want to hit this, and then either knock your way through or run down the steps. Either way, probably knocking through is a little bit faster and more efficient. Now, there's all sorts of different floor loot and nooks and crannies in this entire prison. It's honestly kind of mesmerizing. But all right, what I really want to show you is where the chest spawns are, and I'll let you guys kind of get more of a feel of the lay of the land on your own. So as you come up here, you see the second chest spawn. So I came from that tower. I'm still running along. I believe this is the top level of this area. So there are 3 levels to this behemoth of a structure, and we'll keep moving along here. The next chest spawn is actually in the opposite tower. And so I went from the one corner to the opposite corner. I just broke that chest as I came through. And I'll show you where I am visually. So I came from that corner all the way over to here. So there are 3 chest spawns across this whole entire length of the prison. The next chest spawn I want to show you is right here. And again, to give you kind of a bearing. So I came from that tower all the way down over into this corner. Okay, and to give you chest spawn number 5, we are in the little control room here, and to show you where I'm at, there's the first tower, second tower. I've come through to the bottom, and now here we are at this area. You're in the main prison spot. And so one interesting thing I wanted to show you guys, here's our next chest spawn, is obviously this crouching thing. So, right, I just want to give you potential scenarios. As you look around, you see random bits and pieces like, okay, there's a TV, there's a filing cabinet. Obviously, those aren't people, right? But I'm crouching. If you get an inanimate object like this, right? You know, let's get something a little bit smaller. Say I'm a trash can, right? So I'm literally a trash can, and I am just sitting here. So when you press crouch, you turn into, you know, a prop essentially, right? And so if you're sitting here as the trash can making a trash can play, you can really just move around. We'll stay with the lamp for this example. As I'm moving, it kind of looks like I'm still wobbling, right? But if I do my scope, my right trigger, or my right click, it freezes and locks you there. So imagine a scenario where you've looted, you've got a shotgun, and you're just essentially puppy guarding, right, this last chest. You could just sit here and let someone come by and then shoot as they come out. So, right, you go stoic, or so you're moving, you stop moving, and then shotgun as they come out, right? There is very little time for someone to react to something like this, especially if they're not paying attention. I mean, it is a very interesting tactic that you can pull off for some cheeky kills and free points in arena mode. Now, obviously, you need to make sure you're placing your props effectively and efficiently, but I think there's definitely some room for some outplays. Now, moving on to the next spot, I'm moving to the real bread and butter part of where I think this is really a great landing spot. So as I said earlier, I think when you're coming in, you're gliding for this door in particular, because then you can hit this chest spawn. It's essentially freely out in the open. You can then hit a chest spawn that is, if I can get down these stairs, they are another chest spawn right here. And then the vending machine right here. And I think just in particular, you'll have 1, 2, 3 chests in the vending machine. This is just a great looting spot in general. I mean, if you think about like within 3 or 4 tiles, there's 3 chests and a vending machine. I would definitely prioritize landing in this door as much as possible. So say you're approaching this and you notice, okay, this is contested, right? There's no chests in here. And there's really no chests on this ground floor. But if you got contested on that drop, you could come up to this other tower and hit this chest, along with this chest out in the back. So there is 2 potential chest spawns that you could bounce out to if you notice a lot of contention here, that you could then maybe still make that vending, so on and so forth. Okay, so now that I've looted the entire prison, you should have full brick and full metal coming out of this. Now, one thing I really wanted to point out as you guys leave, and I'm not going to move all the way over there at this point in time, there are pepper spawns like down along here. And so as you grab your peppers and you rotate back to the center circle, you can get full wood as you hit these trees on your way out. Again, you guys are seeing a lot of things, a lot of goofy items, because I am in a more of a creative mode to try and show you guys all this with the full chest spawn potential. So something to consider: once you've looted this whole area, you've won your 1 or 2 fights, you're full of materials, you're rotating out with a pepper, which now lasts for a minute, by the way, which is extremely strong when you think of having a speed buff in a very low mobility meta. Okay, now to talk about the actual Paradise stuff. One cheeky play I wanted to show in particular is what you can do with the pool. So when you think about the no swimming sign, think about the irony of this scenario. No swimming sign, you're just hanging out by the pool. Literally no one's gonna have any idea that you come by until they loot this chest or whatever, and you get free shots on them. It is ridiculous when you think about the outplay potential, particularly in solos, even trios. You could have 3 or 4 objects around here just sitting around the pool waiting for someone to come by and pick up those free points. Now, when it comes to what has actually changed in Moisty or Paradise itself, not a whole lot. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of trees here. There's the crouching ability as you turn into different things. But these buildings have all stayed the same within Paradise. They've just added the wood and the water in the back. There is a few different things I want to point out and just stuff to be aware as you land here. Okay, the one thing that I want to point out as we come around over here is I'm now at the very back of Moisty. There is a vending machine spawn here. Then there is a chest spawn right next to this tree here. And so if you had to bounce all the way out to John Wick's house or something like that, you can hit the chest spawn, hit that vending spawn, and then move into the rest of Moisty. Otherwise, you're just pretty much farming materials and looking to rotate, and preferably not running through this water as you do move slower. All right, so I hope this really helped you guys think about how can you use Greasy, how can you use Moisty, and how can you really be effective as you land in these areas and use it for arena modes or scrims or whatever you're using it for, just in your regular pub games, it doesn't matter. Let me know, is there a spot I missed? Is there a way that you guys have looted this area that's maybe a little bit different? And I'd love to hear your thoughts down below, what you guys have thought is most effective and isn't effective, and do these videos help you at all? Would love to hear about it. Please go check out my other socials. It's at @TillTruth on pretty much everything. I stream literally almost every day on Mixer or on Twitch. It's at @TillTruth. So I hope to see you guys then. See you soon.